Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Tell me if you can see me, hear me, all that stuff. Literally 30 seconds before Desi said, we're live, I'm going to press the button, my lighting fell. So hopefully this is working and you can hear me and the lighting's good and all that jazz. So come on, let me know. You can see me, hear me, all that. Hello, I'm so glad to be here with you. Obviously, I am not John, I'm Jen. It's so good to be here. So first of all, John, Nadia, thank you for having me. Let me know how you're doing today and really let me know where you are watching me from. So I am in California and it's on the coast of California, the Central Coast, which John and Nadia are in state, but they're about 6 hours south of where I am. So I'm not sure I can see comments here, but I will check them later, I promise, and I'll get back to everyone. But I hope you're ready because I'm not going to have you that long, but for the next about 20 minutes, I am going to be your coach and we are going to have some deep breakthroughs, my friends. Okay. So drop me a coach if you are ready, if you give me permission to coach you, because I want you to be a different person at the end of this live stream than you are right now. Okay. So if you're ready for that, let me know you are ready. So if you're new to me, I am Jen. It is so good to meet you. I am a mom of 2 teenagers, which is wild. I don't know how that happened. I am an elite leader in the network marketing industry. I'm a coach of 20 years, a certified trained life coach of 20 years, which is wild, crazy. And so I've been doing this for a long time. I train people to be coaches and I love what I do. I get to help people create a life they design on their terms. And the way that I do that is I got to do it myself. So everything that I'm going to talk to you about, that I'm going to walk you through, are things that I have done for me and do for me and my life and my brain and my heart and my businesses and everything. I couldn't speak to you with integrity if I wasn't walking the talk. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you have a pad because I'm going to make you work a little. I'm going to make you work. Okay. So we're going to talk about, and if you know me, I go a little bit fast and furious and I go deep. So if you're ready to go deep, drop me a deep, because again, you're not here just to listen to this crazy woman from California yap. You're here to make changes. So we call this breaking through your limiting beliefs and creating a vision for yourself and for your business and for your life. And I'm going to walk you through some stages of that. Okay. So let's talk first part about our limiting beliefs. So all of us have beliefs, right? And a belief, no matter what you've heard out there, is just a thought you think over and over and over again until you live into it, okay? And most of us don't choose our beliefs. We might think we do, but most of us are programmed to believe the things that we believe, right? So which means our beliefs are coming from our past, okay? And is this tangled? Yeah, we're fine. So they're coming from our past, right? And in order to create a vision, a powerful future for ourselves, and I talk with my hands. I'm not Italian. My dad's from the Philippines. My mom's Irish, but I'm originally from New York. So I got a little bit of this. So in order to create a future for yourself and do things you've never done before, you have to kind of come from who you are now and who you are going to be, not from who you've been. Most people are creating their life from who they've been. We'll get to that. I'm going a little bit ahead of ourselves. So let's dial back. First step is our beliefs. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story about a client that I work with, and let's just call him Mark. And Mark, sweet man, middle-aged, good guy, but he's always felt like he was called for something more, right? He was working in a job that wasn't really, his thing, if you will. And we all know, like, we can do that for some time, but let me tell you, when you get around a certain age, you can't fake your life because it makes you sick, right? If you're not doing what you feel called to do, at least this is my experience and the experience of all the clients that I've worked with. If you have that nudge to do something different, a message, if you will, a purpose, and you don't start living into that, your life is going to get really hard. Right. So this is where Mark was. And we were working together and we were looking at his beliefs. And what I helped him do was he realized on a session, and for him, his grandma was someone that helped raise him. He was thinking, and he got this download of when he was, I think it was about 6 or 7 years old. He was sitting at the kitchen table and grandma was making him food. And he was saying something like, Grandma, I want to start a business or something. He said something that he dreams of something bigger, right? And his grandma quickly said to him, oh, that's not for you, honey. You can't do that. And her thing is that she probably was, had some money stories of her own or something of her own, right? But she looked at her grandson, who she probably didn't want to get rejected or hurt. And she said, oh, that's not for you. We don't do that type of thing, right? So, then what happened was Mark created a life of mediocrity, of doing things that really he didn't want to do, but the thing he wanted to do was not for him, right? That was the message and the belief that he got. So as you're listening to me, I'm telling you this story because we all have things like that, whether it's a grandma, a parent, a teacher. For me, I had a 3rd grade teacher tell me that my brain didn't work the way that, academics worked, right? Like I was really good at writing stories and reading, but when it came to science and math, I just wasn't as sharp. And she told me, oh, honey, that's not for you, right? So that was the moment in 3rd grade that I gave up, that I was like, oh, my brain doesn't work that way, so I'm not even going to try. And it wasn't until I went back and visited that belief and where that came from, and I sort of took my power back from that, which I'm going to have you do in a few minutes with me, that I was able to then create a new belief and a new story upon which I've built my life and my businesses that are quite spectacular, if I do say so myself, that I live now. Okay. So this is what, I'm sorry, my hair is, this is what I want you to do. I want you to think right now as you're listening to me. What is one? Just come up with one right now. Belief that you have about yourself. Maybe it's that you're too old. Maybe it's that you're not smart enough. Pretty enough, handsome enough, strong enough. You don't live in the right town. You're not wealthy enough, whatever that is. I want you to write that down. And then I want you to dial it back just for a moment. And I'll wait, like take a moment, take a breath and think about where you might have learned that. Like in Mark's case and my case, did someone tell you that and you took that on? Because as kids, we're sponges and that's what we do. We trust and love the adults in our life and we take on those beliefs. So is that where you got that from? And if it is, write that down. Who was that told you that story? When was it? Like how old were you? About, right? Around. So I want you to write that down, okay? And now I want you to write down what you made that mean. Sorry, I'm shaking the desk. I'm so passionate. Write down what you made that mean, because hear me now. We all have beliefs, right? But the belief is not what was said to us is not really the problem. The problem is what, or the freedom, if you will, lies in what we made that mean, right? So what I had Mark do was I had him go back to that memory, right? And I had him, and this is what you're going to do. I want you to write in your journal, 20, write what it meant, what you made that mean, and then you can look back on your life right now and see how in a lot of ways you are probably living into that belief. Maybe it's in your relationship, maybe it's in your businesses, maybe it's in your bank account, whatever. You are probably living into that belief, right? So these, I obviously don't have time for you, but after this, I want you to really get into this exercise, because this could change everything for you. I'm not kidding. So I want you to write down all the beliefs and what you made up about it, right? Okay, write that down. And now what I had Mark do and I want you to do is I want you to write down 20 different meanings for what was told to you or what was said to you. 20 different. So for Mark, right? I think he wrote, my grandma must have been hurt in her life and she was trying to protect me. My grandma didn't understand money. Nobody ever taught her that good people, rich people, could be good people. My grandma was looking out for me. My grandma didn't understand me. Like when I did this for me, that third grade teacher, I really started to understand, oh, she just didn't get my brain. It wasn't that I wasn't smart. She just didn't understand that I excelled in other ways, in other things. She just didn't understand me, right? So I want you, and here's the thing, you're going to probably stop at like maybe 2 or 3 or 5 or 8 or 10. I want you to write down 20 different things, different meanings that you could have given that thing that was told to you that is now holding you back. Because again, you're probably living into this, so your life is on the line here. So go in and give it 20 different things, 20 different meanings that you could give it, right? This is a powerful, powerful exercise if you understand it. And I wish that I could see your comments, but again, I'll go back in and check. So let me know if you're going to do this, right? So that's the first thing about limiting beliefs. So when you go in, because when John and Nadia were asking me what I'm going to train about, I was like, well, a lot of people have visions for themselves or they have dreams, right? But they actually didn't consciously create them. They created them on default. They created the dream that they want or the rank advance they want or the business that they want. They created it from a place of wounding, like we just talked about, from a belief that, oh, so what Mark could have done, right, was go ahead and then like, oh, I'm just gonna make money to show grandma. Well, let me tell you, the way that you start something, your intention carries through. The energy of that carries through. And again, if you're new to me, I talk a lot about energy because energy is everything, right? So if you have the intention, oh, I'm just going to show her, or I'm just going to do this, screw them type thing, you're going to struggle all the way through because your motivation is motivated by like that, energy. And a little bit of is good. But how about having a motivation from love, from service, from purpose, from passion, from this is why I am here. This is a part of my purpose that the universe, God, gave me. That belief, that will carry you beyond your wildest dreams. The FU energy will only get you so far. Makes sense, right? So when we talk about crafting a vision, going in and doing the limiting belief exercise, like I just taught you to do, and I want you to do that, is going to change everything because it's going to change your intention and it's going to change the story you have about yourself, about life, about money, about success, about business, all that. So really jump in, dive in, and do that exercise. And I want you to come back to this video and let me know what you discovered. I actually really want to hear that. Okay. So you have to know what you meant, that belief, what you made it mean, that story, that thing that happened to you, that thing that was told to you. What did you make it mean? And 20 different meanings that you can now give it. And then I want you to post that somewhere. I want you to post it up on your mirror or post it. And then every day you're going to say, oh, like they just didn't get me. They just were looking out for me. Like imagine that. I made this thing mean that I wasn't capable. I wasn't smart enough for so many years until I did this work. And now I made it mean, oh, she just didn't understand. It was a whole other reality. I created an entirely different story, foundation, reality in which I can then build on. That is the power of this. So it's no small thing. Okay. So let's again talk about the next part, which is the vision. So once you do that, you're kind of clearing out your past. You're clearing out who you were. You're clearing out all those stories that we all have that we then create a life on, right? And you can come with clarity, with power to create something big for yourself. And that's really the thing that I wanted to bring to you is stop creating what's possible for you from the past version of you. You have to create what's possible on who you're not even yet, who you haven't even become yet. And the first step we do that is by clearing out the past. So that's really, really important, right? And usually we also craft a vision of what we want for ourselves because let me tell you, we all have it in us to want to fit in. None of us want to stand out. None of us want to go against the grain. Some of us have that in us, but we had to kind of train ourselves because we learned early on that when you go against the grain, you get judged, you get outcasted, you don't belong. And that's painful for us as humans. So when you craft what's possible for you and what you want and the vision, if you come from a family that's filled with lack and, rich people are bad, but then you're trying to become rich and you have that, it's like, it's never going to work. Right? So you have to understand that we need to clear that out and create what's possible from an entirely different energy, past, right? And we can't change the past. We can't change what happened to us. We can't change what was said to us, but we can change the meaning we give it. And that's what I want you to do. So when you create your limitless future, this vision for yourself, I want you to design your future, your business. If you're listening to me, and most of you probably are entrepreneurs, have a business, I want you to think about your business and the vision you have for who you are, the rank, the amount of money you make, the amount of products you sell, whatever it is, right? I want you to think about who that person is when she's not or he's not carrying the belief from the past that was weighing you down, that kind of had you by the neck, that was constricting your body, right? So our bodies don't lie, right? So, and then again, if you're watching this, I know you take good care of your body. So like shoulders down, like, because a regulated nervous system is what will help us build all this. Okay. So breath, right? So we're all programmed to fit in. We're all programmed to seek approval. So you are going to have to allow yourself to go against the grain. That's part of this like entrepreneur muscle that we have to flex, right? So I want you to start to design your future from the unbound energy of your past. Again, this is language that I use in my coaching in my world, but I think you get what I'm saying, right? That when the energy is not bound to who you were, the beliefs you had and what you made it mean, the vision for your future expands. And that is what we want to grow that vision from. So you redefining what happened to you is going to be the foundation on which all of that future is possible. Does that make sense? I want you to drop in the comments your favorite emoji, if this is making sense, or if this is something that's resonating for you. Maybe you needed to hear this. Because let me tell you, the best thing that we can do is become a person who is willing to evolve, who is willing to grow, and not wait for us to be that woman or that man at the destination, but in the journey. That's why we're here. I talk to so many people all the time, even people in my team, my clients, my students, and so many people have bought this lie that it's all going to be better and it's all going to be good and the promised land is in the destination. And my message, if you get nothing from me today, is the promised land, A, it lies within you, and B, it's in the journey. It is in the journey, because let me tell you, if you can't find it in the journey, in the in between, you're never going to find it when you're there. That's the truth, right? So drop me a bomb emoji if you resonate with that. So let me just round this out. I know I've had you for about 20 minutes. Let me round this out by, this is how you do this, by clearing out the past. Then I want you to tap in to to that vision for you. What are the feelings, the emotion? Literally write down the emotions that you want to feel every day. So I don't want to hear, I want the new car, I want the house, I want the, all that. I want to hear the emotions. I want to wake up and feel free. I want to feel joy. I want to feel powerful. I want to feel abundant, right? Write down all the emotions, and your job, your number one job, is to feel those emotions right now, every day, right now. Pin it up, put Post-it notes, do whatever you need to do. But that is you think it's about the money. You think it's about the relationship. You think it's about the rank advance, and all that's wonderful. And I'm never going to say not to go for that, because you should, because it'll help you grow and evolve as a human. And that's why we're here. But the answer to your happiness and your joy and your prayers are not in there. They are right now available to you in the emotions that you have to choose to feel every day, right now. Because what happens is then life starts to line up to the emotions that you're choosing. And the crazy thing is it doesn't need to be all the time. I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing or being like Pollyanna or anything. No, it's almost like tipping the scales. So if you're stuck in anxiety, let's just say, 50% of the time of your day, right? Let's start to get to like less of 49%, and joy and ease a little bit more. And how you do that is you grow, you listen to great podcasts, you stay around people like John and Nadia, or people that lift you up, that you get out in nature, you have connections online, you talk to people, you get out of the mindset of, I just need to sell this, or I just need to, and you get out and you serve, and you become more authentically you, because you're going to do it in a way that I can't do it. And people need your magic, right? So you have to start to do these things. There is no magic pill. You actually become this person by becoming this person. Right? So that's what I want you to do, is write all that down, write what you want to feel, and then pin it up, have it in your face in the morning, put it by your coffee, put it on your mirror, put it on your ceiling that you're looking at when you go to sleep at night. I'm talking like you want it everywhere. Hire that coach, join that mastermind, work with those people, show up every day. This is how you tip the scale. It's very difficult to do on your own. Not impossible, but it's difficult. So you have to have these practices, right? Another one I'm going to give you is what I call Dream Day Journal. So I want you to take out your journal. If you don't have one, get one. Journaling is a huge practice that is so powerful. And I want you to write a dream day. And I want you to write down your dream day from the moment you wake up in the morning, not how. Let me repeat that. Not how will you get there, but you waking up in the morning. What does your dream day look like? What does it feel like? You know, some people, they're in the cabin in the woods and there's snow and they have a hot coffee in their hand and they're snuggling with their honey, and they're, it's a slow morning by the fire or whatever. And some people, they're in a high rise in Manhattan, and their phone's buzzing, and that's like exciting to them and love them. Some people are going to be on the beach and they hear the tropical birds, and they've got a smoothie in their hand or whatever. What is your dream day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep? Who are you with? Right? What are you saying? What are the conversations you're saying? What are the words you're saying? What are the connections you're making? What are you hearing? That's a big one. Are you hearing, Mom, you're doing amazing, or honey, I'm so impressed with you. Wow, you're doing great things. Are you hearing from your clients, oh my God, you've changed my life? Are you hearing from your customers, these products, everyone needs to have them? Like, what are you hearing, seeing, thinking, smelling, touching, tasting? Get detailed in your dream day journal. Write me a dream day journal. Put the book emoji if you're going to do this. And then keep that with you. And every day, remind yourself what your dream day is like. It's going to be different for everyone. And it's from the you that is free of the past because you did the other exercise. Okay. So let me just make two quick distinctions and then I'll shut my mouth. Okay. So I want you to decide. So I personally think that one of the biggest issues that I see are people are not making decisions. Okay. And it might not be you, but it might be even subtle places in your life or subtle areas in your life. The power of deciding, making a choice to do something has the power to change everything. Let me just tell you a quick story. When I was 18 years old, I grew up in Oceanside, New York, Long Island, wonderful childhood. But I had my sister, who is 14 months older than me, had a drunk driving accident when I was 14. She had just turned 16. She was in a coma for many months. She had to learn to walk, talk, feed herself again, all the things. She was in rehab for many years. And at 14 and 16, she was like my best friend. And I fell in. I have two younger sisters, too. A younger brother and a younger sister, two older sisters. And my freshman year of high school, when everyone was going out and partying, I was going home and making dinner and changing diapers for my little sister, taking care of my little brother, then going to the hospital because it's helping with Noel. Anyway, a lot of trauma, right? Nobody's fault, but really so much tension and trauma, medical bills. I remember my parents, they were just besides themselves. We didn't know if Noel would ever, have a functioning life again, all this stuff. When I was 18 and a half years old, she was doing better and the trauma had finally passed a little. I was sitting in college, community college, and I remember at 18 and a half or so thinking, I really don't care if I wake up tomorrow, like really. And I was like, I kind of give up. And I knew in that moment, I was staring out the window, and I knew in that moment, I need to make a change or I'm not going to survive this. Because I was in recovering, not even recovering. There was so much trauma. There was so much stuff that was weighing on me that I never got to express, that I never got to talk about. Watching my sister go through this huge thing, and we were in high school together and everyone was asking about her, and it was just so wild, right? And I never got to deal with it. And I made a decision that I'm going to make it through this. And I packed up this is a literal true story, true story. I had cojones back then. I mean, still do, but now I'm a little more tame because I have two kids and, I need to be, but I packed up my stuff. I threw things in a backpack. I got on a Greyhound bus all by myself. at 18 and a half. And I went to the furthest coast, the furthest place that can get to, from Long Island, New York to Big Sur, California. If you've been to Big Sur, drop me a Big Sur. And I signed up for a 30-day work study program at a spiritual center called Esalen. Let me know if you know Esalen. And it was a gorgeous, amazing place where spiritual teachers from all over the world came and taught all different modalities. I needed to get away. So I signed up. Greyhound bus, took me like 7 days or something. It was wild. I stopped in certain places and, stopped at the Grand Tetons and met a whole bunch of people. Like, oh my God, I would never let my daughter do that now, who's that age. It's so funny, right? But anyway, I finally got to Big Sur and I stayed for 3 years. 3 years. I was supposed to stay 30 days. I stayed for 3 years. But it was because I needed to change my life drastically. I needed a whole other environment. I needed to get away, even though I love my family and now I'm very close with them. I needed to do some healing work. I needed to find who I was. I needed to get out of all that tension and the focus on my sister and reclaim my soul. At 18 years old, I knew that. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is because that's the power of decisions. And I, as a coach now, personally think that most people avoid decisions are making a decision because they know that decisions and choosing have the power to change everything. My life would be totally different if I never left New York. I wouldn't have the kids I have. I wouldn't have, I'm still out here. I never went back. I went back to visit, but never went back to live. And so everything would have been different. Everything would have been different, right? But that's the power of choice. And so most people will stay stuck in an indecision to avoid that. And that was a huge life decision. But I am telling you, even the small ones, I know for me, if I eat, multiple slices of chocolate cake, I know that for the next couple of days, my belly will be distended. I'll feel like crap. My brain will be foggy. Like, everything we decide has a consequence. So people put off decisions because stay in this mucky place of indecision and then wonder why their life isn't changing. So a huge part of this is to make a decision on who you are and who you're becoming and taking action. And it might not be moving 3,000 miles across the USA, but it could be, I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to meet 5 to 10 new people a day online. I'm going to build my brand online. I'm going to, work with a coach. I'm going to join this mastermind. I'm going to get to this rank. I'm going to, whatever this is for you, make a decision and don't look back. Don't look back. There is so much power in deciding, and 99.9% of the people just don't decide who they are and who they're becoming and who they're going to be. And they stay stuck in the same past patterns their whole life. They live 75 to 80 years of the same life every year, over and over and over again. And I don't think you want that to be you, right? Let me know. Say, that's not me in the comments, right? So make a decision. Actually, decide. I will decide. Okay. Lastly, again, I know I'm going on and on. Let me know if this is helpful. I want to know if this is helping you, if this is bringing you value. The last thing I want to say, and it's funny because I just had these messages with a coach of mine, and she was like, "Girl, you weren't kidding. When you decide to do something, when you decide to start a business, when you decide to break these generational curses and live beyond what you've been before or who you've been before, you weren't kidding that resistance shows up." This is a piece of it. And I could not do this in right mind without telling you. The moment you decide something, the moment you decide to become something that you haven't been before, please hear this, resistance will come. I can't tell you how many people have worked with me or, bought a course or whatever, and they dropped a bunch of money and then all of a sudden an unexpected tax bill, or their car breaks down, or their kid needs braces, or whatever, something unexpected. And I'm not going to be bold enough to say that it's a test. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but certainly feels like it. It's almost like the universe going, how bad you want it? Or do you just want to stay comfortable, right? How bad you want it? So what I will tell you is I work from the premise of when we know something's coming, it's usually a little easier for our nervous system to handle that. When you choose to craft a vision for yourself, resistance will come. And that resistance will show up as a family member saying, who do you think you are? Or like I said, a bill in the mail that was unexpected. Or it could just be in your brain and you saying, oh, I'm not going to do this. This isn't working. Or I'm too tired. Or I don't want to upset anyone. Or I don't want to fill in the blank. The resistance will come. If you know that it's part of the process, you can go like my client did this morning, and you're probably watching this, you know who you are. She was like, oh, that's what Jenn was talking about. So when the resistance comes, you can come back to this video and you said, girlfriend, you were right. The resistance came. And what you are to do, here's your thing, keep going. Don't let that stop you, because let me tell you, you're going to get through that and the next thing will come. And then pretty soon these hurdles won't be hurdles anymore. They'll be like little bumps, baby bumps, baby bumps. What was huge, big mountain at one time will be baby bumps, because you will have grown into this person who is unstoppable, right? So I think I'm going to end it there. Let me know if this was helpful. I know I'm on TikTok too, but let me know if this was valuable. I want you to comment, thank you, John and Nadia. This was awesome. Or Jenn's cool, or she knows what she's talking about, or this was helpful, or whatever you want to say. So please tag John and Nadia, let them know that you loved this, or that this was helpful, or that this helped you a little bit, or helped you move the needle. And I want you to actually do what we talked about. And I do have a little something that I'd love to give you. If you want to comment 33, I would love to send you, if you like my vibe, 33 declarations. I don't call them affirmations. I don't affirm who I am. I declare it. So 33 declarations to grow your business energetically. That's because that's kind of what I focus on. I work on the premise of, if I am growing and always honing my energy and my skills, my business grows. And so does everything else, right? And so that's who I am and my message. So comment 33 if you want. My team or I will get that to you, or John's team. And I would love for you to have that. Use them every day. Say them out loud. Feel them. You know, I'm always saying, like, it's not just what we say, it's the energy behind it. So shoulders back, chest out, like, claim your space, claim who you are, understand why you are here, which goes beyond any of the past programming that you have. So these declarations help you get into that space. So comment 33 at John and Nadia. This was great. This was helpful. Thank you for this, whatever you want to say. And if you want more information about me, I'm sure they'll put it up here. I am honored to have been your coach for the last 38 minutes. I don't take this lightly, and I really do feel like now is the time. There's so much swirling around energy, like every day it feels like there's something where we're like, woo, whether it's politically or whatever. And so now is the time, my friends. It's like, no shit, no kidding. Like, now's the time to really step into you and your power and what is possible for you. Because let me tell you, the world needs you. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm honored. I'm grateful. And I will see you next time. Bye.